Willikers, Cat Man. They got me surrounded.
I'm on my way.
I gotta get man. There's a problem, I'ma solve my nigga moving around with a big ass revolver and a...
What's going on, America? It's the man, N Caz Football Focus.
Where the focus is, as always, NFL football.
Right. Now, that's how we're going to start the show. We're going to talk about Week 1's games, which I went 9-7. 8-8. Told you about the Raiders.
Man, whatever, man.
But we got
couple things we want to touch on.
Yeah, we want to touch on. You know, obviously we want to touch on
the Saints. The bounty has officially been lifted, and Roger Go to Hell Goodell can do what his nickname say. Because look, let's be honest. If there was any type of bounty, those who watched all the NFL games last season, and we have it on a fact that we know somebody who has all the Saints games for the last 3 years.
Right.
And we can easily go back to the tape and watch. The Saints didn't hurt anybody. You know,
they barely tackled people.
They barely tackled people, right. And let me tell you this. If anybody should have been flagged for anything, it should have been Roman Harper. But he was the only one that was quote unquote
because he couldn't cover.
Maybe.
Maybe they said, well, why should we find him? And
he sucks. Right. He's not even. I wouldn't say he sucks, but he's just being utilized the wrong way. But anyway, let's go.
We digress. But like I said, me and my brother have been talking about this for over the past 6 months? Yeah. I mean, not 6 months. About 5 or 6 months.
About 4 or 5 months.
About 4 or 5 months.
Ever since the story broke.
Right. And we've been saying that. You know, be honest with you, a lot of teams, do the pay per performance. You know,
well,
a lot of teams do it.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, I mean, every team does a pay per performance. That's different. Not pay to injure, pay to performance. I just think that the Saints is the only team that got caught up with it. The only thing I have a problem with it is like I said, you got Vilma coming back after 6. They put him on the PUP list. So he'll be back in 6 weeks, which I knew they was going to do. I told you that the other day. But the only thing that bothers me is, like you talked about, we got Vitt out for 6 weeks. We got Loomis out for 8 games, and we got Peyton out for the year. So if Vilma and Smith and Fajita and all them can come back, why can't Peyton?
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my thing.
I agree. Lift it for all of them.
Right.
You know?
But I think the main reason why they stayed in punch is because they didn't fight it.
Yeah. Not only that, but you know what I say is, and I don't like to go back to quote unquote hoodonomics. I would say.
Might as well though.
But I still want to know who snitched. Because, okay, if they've been having an ongoing investigation for the last 3 years.
Supposedly 500 pages.
500 pages and then 5,000 pages.
5,000 pages.
And you want to produce 200.
Right.
That means that you've been trying to build the case because somebody snitched.
Right.
You didn't have anything on the Saints because if you had something on the Saints, why you wait till this year to do it?
Right.
You know, why not do it years ago? And you got Roger Go to Hell Goodell saying that he's looking out for player safety. Okay, well, what about player safeties the 2 previous years?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What about, and this is the same guy, that we're going to touch on this one right here later in the season, about this same guy that's for player safety, but he wants to go to an 18-game season.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you think on that. But let's go. Let's
move. All right. Now first of all we're gonna talk about Week 1 games.
Right.
And obviously we have to touch on, like, I watch NFL Network, ESPN, and all the other little sister stations. And everybody's been talking about the Saints and RG3 and stuff like that. Now, I don't want to take credit away from no black quarterback. I'm proud of him. I'm glad he did his thing. I hate he had to do it on my team's home soil, but he looked great.
Yeah, he did.
He looked great. And like I said, we have to get adapted to a new system. You can't do it in all the preseason games.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard. So all my Saints fans out there, which is me and my brother included, we're going to be all right. We started 0-1 last year against the Packers, and you got to realize we lost both of those games last week and last year by 8.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I'm
saying? That's right.
So like I said, we're going to be all right. We play Carolina this week, which we're going to get to within the next 2 minutes. But The games, pretty much, what's your take on the games last week?
Man, very phenomenal first week for the NFL, especially starting off with the Cowboys beating the Giants.
Right.
That was a real good game. Surprisingly, though, Cleveland
stayed with Philly.
Now, everybody wants to talk about Philly being the best team in the NFC, which I disagree with 100%. I take nothing away from Philly, but I just don't think that they're the best team.
Only reason because I picked them for the championship game against the Saints. I think they're good, but I just think that really they got this play for Andy Reid deal, and I think that it might overcome them because their son died. You know what I'm saying? So they got that rah-rah. The owner came out and said that if it's championship or bust.
Well,
you know what I mean?
But isn't that, but isn't that with every team?
Well, you got some teams like the Browns. You got some teams like ain't nobody expecting them boys to win, man. Reed threw 4 picks. I mean, Vic threw 4 picks. You know what I'm saying? So you don't expect the Browns or the Cincinnati Bengals. You don't expect them boys to go out there and win a championship. It might surprise some people.
That's what I'm saying, but hell, nobody really expected us to win the championship, and we did.
Right, you're right. But I think that if you have a veteran quarterback, which we had Drew Brees, you get your veteran, you got your good coach.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Get your good D coordinator.
Okay.
I don't think Cleveland has none of those. I mean, I can go down a list and tell you names of teams, Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? You can say the Buffalo Bills. I mean, they let the Jets put 48 points on them.
Yeah. Now that was a very interesting game, but the most telling game to me was the 49ers and the Green Bay Packers.
Right, that was a great game.
That was a great game, but you know what? I said last week that I didn't think the 49ers was going to be that good or do that good this year.
Right, same.
I might have to eat those cookies because I watched that game and that 49er defense looks about it. Oh my God.
I think, you know what, and I said the same thing, and I think that they're the most physical defense next to the Ravens and the Steelers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They did the same thing. I was looking at it too, and they did the same thing to the Packers last week that they did to the Saints in the playoff game. I mean, they were just hitting.
Yeah, man. Hit them in the mouth. Yeah, hit them in the mouth.
The only scary thing about the 49ers is that they got Moss. Moss showed up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They got Manningham and they got Chase.
1 or 2 touchdowns for Moss.
Moss had 1 last week. Okay. And which is saying a lot because a lot of people didn't think Moss was going to do nothing. Everybody was shocked that they started him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But, I think with the offense is getting better. Alex Smith, like you said, I don't think Alex Smith, I don't think they still trust him to throw enough.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But, I think if they get into a shootout, which I doubt, you know what I'm saying, because they got such a tough defense, it's going to be hard to score points on them boys.
Right.
And like I said, we're going to see them later on in the year in the Dome, which the Dome is not inferior anymore.
Apparently.
Yeah, it was, but it's not anymore. You know what I'm saying? And
you know what they say. A broken watch is right twice a day.
Yes, that's true. That's very true. That's true. That's true. But what we gonna do now? We gonna pick the week 2 games.
Yeah. All right. Let's go.
Ready to roll?
I'm ready.
All right. I'm gonna throw them up. Go ahead. We fire. All right. We got the Bears and Packers tomorrow night. I'm picking the Green Bay only because they're at home, and I don't think them and the Saints are the only 2 teams I think in the NFC and the Giants can't afford to go 0-2 because those teams really rely on home field advantage. So if they go 0-2 in Lambeau, they played in Lambeau last week.
That's right, they sure did.
Yeah. So if they go and they play in Lambeau tonight, and then they play the Saints in Lambeau in week 4. That's another. We're gonna talk about that in 2 weeks. Yeah. We'll talk about that then. Okay. But so I'm picking Green Bay because they're home and they can't afford to go 0-2. But I like the Bears offense.
Like I said it last week, it's the black and blue division, and I'm picking the Bears.
Okay.
I'm picking the Bears. Brandon Marshall, I really don't think they will have. They're not going to have an answer for Brandon Marshall or Earl Bennett.
Right. And Jeffrey.
And Jeffrey.
And Forte. Right. I agree with that. I just think personally, like I said, we'll see tomorrow and we'll touch on it next Wednesday. But I just think that they can't afford to go 0-2. The Bears offense looked great against the Colts.
And
that was against the Colts.
That was against the Colts.
But like I said, I have a special place in my heart for Forte because obviously he's on my fantasy football team. So I hope he does good. But I just think that the Packers, who's supposed to be the favorite, the #1 team in the power ranking, they can't afford to go 0-2.
And it wouldn't surprise me if they still number one. You know, they just got.
Now, you know who the number one team?
49ers.
And the Patriots are number 2. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But anyway, all right. So you pick the Bears.
Yeah.
Okay. We have the Chiefs at the Bengals. I'm going with the Bengals.
I'm gonna pick the Bengals on that one too. I got the Bengals.
Okay.
I got the Bengals.
And I think they was kind of against the 8 ball.
Yeah.
Going against the Ravens. Art Modell just passed me. I say
Yeah.
R.I.P. to Art Modell.
I say R.I.P. to Art Modell, but I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to side with the Cleveland fans on this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you know your history, the Baltimore Ravens used to be the Cleveland Browns.
Right.
And, you know, it was one of those types of deals where Art Modell did the same thing with the Baltimore Colts. He snuck the Baltimore Colts out of Maryland and moved into Indianapolis.
Right.
And he did the same thing with the Cleveland Browns. So,
right. Yeah. I only reason, like I put on Facebook last week, the only reason why I have respect for Art Modell is because he signed my cousin, Brad Jackson. And
number 50, Brad Jackson, represent.
Right. So, I mean, I have, and I put that on Facebook. I have much respect for him for that. I didn't like what he did, Indy or Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we got family in Ohio, so I understand that.
Yeah.
But next on the agenda, so both was going with the Bengals.
Yeah.
Next on the agenda is the Vikings at the Colts. I'm going with Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm going with Minnesota too. Minnesota too.
And actually, we want nothing really touch AP bag.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got the Raiders and the Dolphins.
Raiders and the Dolphins?
Yeah, Raiders and the Dolphins. I'm going with Oakland because they look good Monday night. They just had their center got hurt, so they couldn't get no punts off. They were getting punts blocked and all kinds of stuff. You know, it was just ridiculous.
I'm gonna go with Oakland on that one too.
Now this game, this is gonna be snooze / the blowout of the week.
Okay.
And this is gonna be the Cardinals at the Patriots.
I don't think that's gonna be a snooze fest.
So you gonna be upset?
No.
Okay, all right. I'll put it on.
No.
All right.
I'm going for the steamroll. I mean, the Patriots are going to go in there and roll.
Right.
You know.
Right. All right. I'm going with the Patriots too, obviously. All right. We have the Buccaneers at the Giants. I'm going with the G-Men.
Yeah, I don't see the Buccaneers offense really being that much more effective than they were the first week. So yeah, I'm going with Giants hands down.
Now this will probably be I got 3 games I want to talk to you about that'll probably be the games of the week. But we got the Ravens at the Eagles.
I'm going with the Ravens.
I'm going with the Ravens too. That's gonna be a good game.
Oh, man, that's what 4 or 5 games we agreed on. Yeah, let's spice it up.
All right. This is gonna be a catch-22 on this one.
Okay.
Saints at the Panthers.
I'm going with the Saints.
I'm gonna ride with the Saints.
Cam Newton is going to have a good game. I mean, I was 100 yards shy of his 400-yard last week, but I don't say he's going to throw for 400 yards. At least I hope not. But I think he will have a good showing. Right. But I just think that the Saints bring it all together this week and really kind of restore that
winning feeling,
and that faith in that we're going to be okay. So
okay, cool. Got the Texans and the Jaguars. I'm going with the Texans in that game.
Yeah, I'm going with the Texans too. Aaron Foster. No city.
Right. Cowboys at Seahawks. I'm going with Dallas.
Damn. Really?
Got to. Dallas look good, man. Like I said, Tony Romo, no homo. I mean, he's playing
Tony Romo, no homo.
Yeah, I mean, he's
I'm going to go with the Cowboys, too. I think that they finally found their identity on offense as far as the passing game. And DeMarco Murray, phenomenal running back. I think the guy is great talent.
Yeah, Oklahoma, man. He's a Sooner.
He's a Sooner?
He's a Sooner right there.
He's a Sooner. I'm glad he's a Sooner rather than a later, right?
Exactly.
Right.
All right. Now we got the Redskins at the Rams. Well, that's I'm gonna say since the Redskins look great against my Saints, I'm gonna have to go with the Redskins, man.
I'm actually gonna pick the Rams.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick the Rams because number one, Steven Jackson. Number two, I think St. Louis. I think it was another one of those teams that kind of ran up against
But they played a good game against Detroit last week.
They did. You know, they weren't really expecting to be in that game. That game almost went to overtime.
Right? It almost.
It almost went to overtime.
Stafford did the last second touchdown.
Right. I'm gonna go with St. Louis on this one.
Okay, cool. Like mix it up.
Yeah,
I like that.
I
I feel that. All right, now we got another good game.
All right.
The Jets at the Steelers.
I'm going with the Steelers.
I'm with you.
I'm going because
they had Steelers at home.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Mm-hmm. The Jets played Buffalo.
Right. Scored 48 points in Buffalo. Yeah.
The Jets played Buffalo.
Right. Only thing good in Buffalo's is wings.
Right.
I'm just saying. You know?
Right.
All right. We got the Titans and the Chargers. I think that's going to be a snooze game. I'm going with the Chargers because the Chargers are at home.
I'm picking the Titans. I think Chris Johnson is going to run wild on the Chargers because of the simple fact that, let's be honest, the Chargers are one of those teams that they remind me of a Ryan Leaf. And no pun, ergo he did play for him, but he's one of those guys that had a whole bunch of hype. It seems like he always has hype coming into the season, and when you finally get him, when the rubber finally hits the road, it falls flat. Yeah. It falls flat.
That's true. I mean, they didn't really look dominating Monday night
against Oakland.
Yeah. But Oakland has a decent defense.
Oakland does have a decent defense. Yeah. I mean, Oakland does have a secondary too. But like I said, I'm going with the Titans. I think that running game of the Titans, and I think Jake Locker, he's listed as day-to-day. So if he does play, then you know they're going to rely on the running game a lot more. So be looking for Chris Johnson to have a good game.
Right. So hopefully it's a good game. But so you're going with the Titans. All right. Now we got the Sunday night game. We got the Lions at the 49ers.
The handshake game. I'm going with the 49ers and another rough handshake from
well, they trying to downplay it, but I'm going to go with the Niners too. I mean, they're going to be in Candlestick or whatever they call it, their crappy stadium.
Sony Ericsson Stadium.
Whatever they call it.
Candlestick.
Yeah, I'll take a piss on the side of the thing, whatever, they call it. Right. I'm going to go with the Niners too, which I think will be a good game. And then, check this out. Megatron didn't practice. Ooh. He's out. I mean, he's not out, but he's hurt. So the Madden curse might be lingering his ugly face.
Ooh, now that's interesting. That's something else we're going to keep an eye on.
Right. And last but not least, we have the Broncos at Denver.
The Broncos at Denver?
Peyton Manning versus Matt Ryan.
You said the Broncos at Denver.
Oh, the Broncos at Falcons. Sorry. My bad.
I'm going with the Broncos. Peyton Manning shows why he is the quintessential quarterback. And my fantasy guy, Eric Decker, has a good game. And a touchdown this time. Cross your fingers. I'm glad that Peyton Manning is back. Like I said, I mean, just you know, and this is something we're gonna touch on later on in the season. But I'm gonna talk about the young quarterbacks that's in the NFL now, and I'm gonna explain to you why more quarterbacks now, you know what I'm saying, more rookie quarterbacks now are adjusting to the pro game a lot better and a lot faster. We're going to touch on that probably next week.
Yeah, next week. Now, we're going to end off the show, after we got our picks. We're going to end off the show with our top five. We're going to have the top five series.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. And we're going to both pick our top five at each position.
Yeah.
And we're going to start off with quarterbacks.
All right.
So I'm going to start by saying my top five quarterbacks is, I'm going to go with Stafford, Eli.
No certain order, right?
No. Well, I'm going 5 to 1.
Okay, all right, 5.
So I'm going Stafford, Eli, Jay Cutler. Yeah, I like Jay Cutler. Tom Brady, and Drew Brees. I hate to keep my boy Rodgers out, but he didn't really have a good game. I had to put my boy Drew in there because I got him on my wall.
Right. Well, okay. My top 5, 1 to 5. Well, actually, my top 5, no particular order. Drew Brees number 1. I mean, the best quarterback in the league. Say what you want. You know what I'm saying? But this guy is consistent.
Right.
Through, in and out. Even though we lost at Sunday's game, this dude still threw for 309.
Right, which is a record in 8 straight games.
8, yeah.
That's a record.
Exactly. And keep this on your head. He did throw has the longest streak for games with touchdowns.
No, he's about to break
He's
that.
about to break it.
But you know what? He does have 2 records: the 300-yard and the 20+ completions in 20-something some odd games.
Right. I mean, how can really?
Right.
You know, Drew Brees. I'm gonna say Aaron Rodgers number 2. I mean, cause that guy, he's a monster. Lazy.
I hate to keep him out. Maybe you get in next week. You know, but
I mean, the guy just throws lasers.
Yeah, he throws bullets.
My number 3 is I gotta say Peyton Manning. I gotta say Peyton Manning number 3.
I hate to keep Peyton out.
Number 4. I'm gonna say Eli Manning. And number 5 is Ben Roethlisberger.
You see, that's the whole thing about this series is like obviously you can poll anybody that knows football and it'll be different. I was going with people from week 1, but I mean it's kind of hard to do that. But you know that's a good top 5. Yeah, that's a good top 5. So I'm gonna let you go and do your rant, and we'll see y'all.
You know we don't need to do a rant. We talked about it at the beginning of the thing. So
okay,
Saints bounty. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad it's uplifted and. Not only bring the players back, but bring the head coaches back too. I mean, you know, you don't have any evidence, so stop fronting like you do.
Right. And we out. N Caz, we'll checking out. We'll see y'all next week.
Yeah. Oh, and don't forget, we're doing a poll. Like I said, we're picking these games, but we're also keeping a record of these games. And whoever has the best record at the end of the month has to do a favor for the other guy. So if I win at the end of the month, I have the best record. Marcus has to do something. And if he has the best record at the end of the month, I have to do something. So stay tuned for that. Y'all gonna love that.
Stay tuned for that. And one last thing, if you have any suggestions, that you want to see it, we'll do it live on the show. If you have any suggestions, let us know. Either message us or go on our page. You know, obviously we got our page, N Caz Football Focus Sports page, and we'll see what you got. Yeah. But other than that, we out.
We out.
Peace out.
Right, they got it. Damn right, they got it.